All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to everyone. I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. So let's just do a very quick sound check first. If all of you can hear me loud and clear and you all can see the screen that says very big, 2026 is the stock market headed for rally or crash. If you can see, you can hear me, please type hi in the chat so I know that you are here. Okay. So once again, over the past week, we've seen a lot of in fact, the last week, right, a lot of volatility has happened in the stock market. For those of you who are not aware, after like 6 months of the stock market rallying, finally we are starting to see some what we call excitement or opportunity. Or to some of you, you might be feeling panic. You might be feeling uncertain. Okay, all of these emotions are valid. Okay, all of you type valid in the chat. Okay, so it does not mean that if you're feeling scared or uncertain, that you are thinking the wrong way. Same for the other way. Okay, because we are all humans, we all have emotions. Okay, so but the more important thing is understanding how you feel that way and why you feel that way. So because in investing, right, what is our worst enemy in investing? Okay, our worst enemy in investing is not the Federal Reserve. It is not Donald Trump. It is not the whoever it is. It is ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. Okay, because you can do a trade, right? But I can tell you, whenever we are scared of anything, we are always fighting an inner battle with ourselves. Okay, so for today, what we are going to talk about is for next year, because now we are already going to our last month, December. December, people are saying where there's like a Christmas rally. So we are going into the last month and we are going to see, looking forward to 2026. Are we going up further or are we going down? So in today's live, I'm going to break it down everything with you so that you will be prepared as the market opens tonight and going on in 2026. So if you are ready, can all of you type ready in the chat? Okay, I want all of you to participate. Okay, there's a lot of information that I've jam-packed into this live. I spent the whole day pulling out all of the facts so that we can run through, so that all of you will be able to know whether is it just market noise or is it just it's really something that is happening, or there's really nothing to really worry about. So if you're ready, type ready in the chat. I want to see all of you typing this. Invite your friends all along, because this is probably going to save their portfolio as well. So let's get started. But before that, right, let's look at what happened last week. Okay, what caused the volatility? So the main culprit, right, of a lot of the volatility happened late last week, and it all started with this: NVIDIA's earnings. Okay, hey guys, for those of you who don't know, NVIDIA right now, guys, is the largest company in the Nasdaq. Is the largest now. Okay, so okay, let me turn on my pen. Okay, because it's not, when it ran up, right, it ran up to like 5 trillion. What's the largest company in the Nasdaq, S&P in the whole stock market right now. And literally, right, this one company is like the rising tide that will lift up all boat or will sink all the boats. Everyone is looking at him, and this handsome young white hair man, Taiwanese man, wearing a black leather jacket all along, which is called Jensen Huang. And when they released their earnings result last Thursday, they actually beat. They beat their earnings, they beat their revenue, everything they beat. Right. And they even increased their guidance, guys. So this is like everything is beat. And at the start, right, after they announced, after Wednesday early morning, right, it went up 4%. Right. And leading up to the next day market open, it also went up 4%, 4 to 6%. Market open, it went up to 6%. And within the day itself, guys, so this is what happened at the start of the day. You can see it was up 4%. Some at the day even it went up to 6%. Right. And not just NVIDIA. Every single company in the S&P, right, was up. It was a wonderful green day. Everyone who looked at the portfolio for the first half of the day were very happy. Right? Everyone was like, okay, nothing to do today. Let me just go and rest. But just before bed, when everyone looked at the phone, this is what they see: a sea of blood. NVIDIA from up 4% now is down to 3%. Guys, this is a +4 to -3. This is a 7% swing in a single day. And for a company as big as NVIDIA, this is huge. And you can see every single company was not spared. by this. So this one event in the stock, just the stock market, caused a lot of panic throughout. Everyone was like wondering, hey, what happened? Why suddenly their earnings do so well? Their revenue all big. How come they dropped suddenly 7% from a nice 4%? Everyone was shocked. Everyone didn't know what to do. And the whole world started panicking. Okay, this was what happened last Thursday. And together with this, we also see crypto market tanking after that. Okay, and if I show you the chart, it looks like this, guys. It's damn scary, you know. Like it rallied up $450 billion, stable a little bit. And on the same day, you guys see, on the same day, it just went down after that. To market close, minus, erased everything. And actually in the day, it closed negative as well. Okay, so this was what happened last Thursday. But what actually led to this? Okay, what was the market consensus thinking about NVIDIA? Okay, one big culprit is, of course, this thing called the AI bubble, which we have actually seen for many months. The whole world has been saying AI bubble, AI bubble, AI bubble. If you go and Google, everyone says AI bubble. Okay, and not just Googling for this kind of news outlet like CNBC, MSN, or Bloomberg, guys. You even see Jeff Bezos. Okay, Jeff Bezos, which is the chairman of Amazon, he also said AI is in a bubble. Okay, so everyone is saying that. Even Microsoft CEO also got said something about this. Okay, and not just these people that you're saying. If you just go to YouTube, you search the word AI bubble, I can tell you there are countless of videos coming out of everyone using AI bubble as a massive clickbait, and everyone with a super shocked face like that. What, thinking like, oh my god, is AI a bubble? As you can see from some of these examples, and crash inbound, about to burst, all that kind of stuff. So this was one of the culprit, okay, of this AI bubble thing. Now, the next one is this valuations. Okay, we have been seeing a bear market, guys, since October 2023. It is already past 2 years, and now we are in our third year of the bull market. Third year already. So since then, before Trump, everyone be saying markets overvalue, markets overvalue. And then you can see this big crash over here, right? This was when the 2022, the crash happened. And this little bump you see over here is during April, early this year in April, during Trump's Liberation Day over here. So it pulled back, right? Sudden pullback, S&P dropped by close to 20%. Okay, and then after that, since what we saw in April, market rally within the span of 7 months, right? NVIDIA, as one of the biggest company in the S&P, it doubled, guys, from $97, $90, $95 around there. Now it's $190, right? For a company as big as NVIDIA, right? And when the market is overextended, right? This is the chart that is going around. People are seeing and say that, oh, valuations are too expensive. Don't buy. Everything is going up. Wait for the pullback, right? The last time was you can see in 2000 .com bubble. And then over here, 2022, when the market was pushing up all the unprofitable stocks, and the Fed suddenly started to do quantitative tightening, increase the interest rates, right? And company had trouble finding funding, right? So this was happened, and now we are way above that, guys. Okay, so you can see all this, especially when you see people say that, oh, in the last 20 years, the highest in 30 years, those are the kind of things that scares people. Okay, now let me ask all of you and be honest. When you see all of these, right, do you feel, in one word, I want all of you to type in the chat. In one word, how do you feel when you see all of this news so far? These are all facts, okay? These are all what you research online, you'll be able to find it. But tell me honestly, how do you feel? Okay, I can share with you my honest opinion as well. Of course, at the start, when we see the AI bubble, just scared one, what? Correct? Because the last time we heard a bubble is when? Is .com bubble, right? And the .com bubble, right, we saw a lot of unprofitable companies also pushing up their prices, pushing up share price, going up like crazy. A lot of unprofitable companies going IPO, right? And now we are seeing similar AI companies, unprofitable, also a lot of hype, right? Like some companies go up 500, 600%. Okay, so just get one. Okay, hey guys, type in the chat now. I only see Lian. Okay, so I see CP, Kelvin, check smart or check mart. Okay, quickly crash waiting for chips. Yes, okay, all these are valid. I want all of you to type, but engage with me, guys, because the whole idea, right? I'm not asking you just for you to chit chat. I ask you so of you can realize and learn. And hopefully by the end of today's session, right, if whatever feelings that you are feeling, right, at the end of the day, you will feel more confident and secure. So that is my role for today's live. Okay. So, and add on to this, when you go and Google the fear and greed index, wow, I tell you, 6, extreme fear. The whole market right now is in extreme fear. Okay, you can see from 1 month ago, we were just fear. 1 week ago, extreme fear, but 18, still quite high. Last close, 11, and now 6. You below 0, you cannot go more than extreme fear already. We are literally right at that area already. And during Trump's Liberation Day, right? April, April 24, okay, extreme fear, right, was at 4. Okay, was at 4. But now, and at that point in time, right, S&P dropped minus 19%. Okay, minus 19%. Now we are at 6 and S&P only dropped 5%. What happens if suddenly something big happens? I tell you, I don't know whether how low we will go. But this is the sentiment across the board now. If you ask around everyone is feeling scared. Everyone is feeling uncertain of what's going on. Okay? Now, okay, so I see a few comments. Esther, just do day trade. Easier said than done, Esther. Okay? I mean, if you are a wonderful trader, you are very good at shorting the market, you have been doing a long time, you are very strong in technicals, by all means, go ahead. Okay? But I can tell you that for day trading, right, it takes a lot of time to reach that level of skill that many can. And I dare say 80-90% people are not suitable for day trading. I myself, and honest to me, I'm not suitable for day trading. I like to do more of the midterm trades. I have a higher win rate over there. Okay, so that is one thing. Okay, why waiting to cut loss? Wow, this is very sad to see. Why waiting to cut loss? Why like that? Come. Share with us. Okay, Kelvin says week's way better than that in April. So week's a volatility index we should touch on later. Okay, and in addition to that, I don't know if you guys have seen this movie before. Have you all seen this movie called The Big Short before or not? 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏. Okay, it is a movie called The Big Short where they actually talk about the US housing crisis then. Okay, and this guy on the left, right, is called 𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗽. Okay, he got famous from that movie, from shorting the housing market, right, at the point when no one was shorting the housing market. He literally was the only one in the whole of US. At that point, he started this shorting to say that he wanted to buy this, they call it credit swaps. Think of it as insurance on the housing market. He bet on it, the housing market, even though the housing market was very, very strong. And when he went to all of the banks, all of the banks mocked him, laugh at him. They say, this guy is crazy. Why would he want to go and short the housing market? We are doing so strong. This guy is an idiot. They really said that. And they gladly took his money. They said, okay, he wants to give us money. Let's just take his money. And they literally created a derivative just for him to do it. So, and when the housing market crashed, guys, this person made a killing. His fund from down 19%, 20%, right? He was up by 400% by the time when everything was over, up 400%. So he got famous from shorting the housing market then. And what we saw recently, just November 13, what did he say? He disclosed a 1.1 billion short position against NVIDIA and Palantir, two of our biggest brainchild in the stock market. Now, if you are not sure what is short, basically betting for the stock to go down. They only make money when the stock drops. Okay? And everyone laughed at him. Everyone said that, hey, this guy is crazy, right? You can see, right, like from his success, then now people say he's crazy again. And the person on the right side here, this is 𝗲𝗏𝗂𝗶𝗽, the Palantir CEO. Don't be fooled by you think he's 𝗵𝐵𝐻. He is like a mad scientist. He's literally a mad scientist, a very, very good one, like Albert Einstein. And this is the CEO of Palantir. Okay, so these are the news that is circling around right now in the market. And I don't know, how many of you feel this way, one? How many of you see, then you're like, wow, like there's a fire behind, it's time to run for the fire. How many of you feel this way, okay? If you're feeling, okay, whatever you're feeling, can all of you type fire in the chat, okay? Not fire as in like the financial independence retire early, fire as in literally fire, okay? Because it seems like literally whatever that you read right now, people are just talking about the negative news. Overvalued, AI bubble, we are about to crash, it's about to burst. All that kind of stuff, all that kind of things are happening right here. Okay, but what I am going to share with you next right after this, right? Okay, so I'm sharing with you what we are seeing now. And now we are going to dig into the facts of past data to help us see whether for the next year, are we going to really crash based on what all these people say? Or are we going to rally? Now, again, I don't have a crystal ball. Anyone who say they have a crystal ball, please disregard them, unfriend them, stop following them. Because no one in this world has a crystal ball. Anyone who tells you they can predict stuff, they are lying to your face. They are trying to steal from you. They're trying to lie to you, all that kind of stuff, okay? What I'm going to share with you today are facts that we saw online based on past data. Whether we rally or crash is all based on probability, okay? Based on probability, okay? But I want to share all the facts with you so all of you are clear and you'll know where we can potentially move. So all of you are clear for me to move on to the next slide. Can you all please type clear in the chat, okay? And we'll get started right away. Okay, so it's pretty scary now. And in fact, we've been seeing the past, I would say the past 2 months is a bit more exaggerated, right? The past first few weeks of like probably in August, June, it was still okay. But now I tell you, in the last month, it's being pronounced, especially since August, everyone calls doomsday. Now, let's take a look. First thing I want to share with you is our best friend, Donald Trump. Okay, can all of you type Trump in the chat? Okay, type Trump in the chat. So if you guys don't know, Donald Trump is our US president. Okay, and his midterms elections are coming on. So for the US presidency, right, they are always elected for 4 years. And at the middle, right, on the second year, right, they always have this thing called the midterm elections. So just think of it as like it's like to vote to make sure that he's okay, something like that. It usually doesn't change much of the president at all. So next year is an important year. And you all must think about Trump as a businessman. Okay, what does he want to achieve at the end of the day? This is his second term, right? Obviously, he wants, let me ask all of you guys, you think he, right, as his last term as president, right, do he want to end his last term on a high or on a low? Low type L, high type H. Okay, you guys think he want to end on a high or a low? Okay, type in the chat. Okay, H or L. As the president, he want to end it on a high, set a legacy, or he want to just ruin his years and say whatever, let me just crash the stock market. Okay, high, right? Most you want to end a high. Okay, now let's take a look at this data. So these are all of the past years of the presidential election. As you guys can see, from 1950 all the way to 2022. And you can see that the peak to trough, that means from that on that year, right, the lowest to the highest stock market. Okay, that means the highest to the lowest of that year. So you can see, right, peak to trough on average, it is about like 17%. Median is about 17%, around there, right? 1 year later, what is the return? Okay, it is 100% positive. Okay, these are all historical data, guys. It's not just like pluck out of thin air one. This is the S&P index return 1 year later, all 100% positive. Okay, so this is the first thing, so you can see based on data, right, is like 1 year later, even though on the midterm elections year from the highest to lowest is negative, but 1 year later, which is in this case right now, 2027, is higher. Okay, average of 30% gain. Now, and again, another similar data, right, under second term presidents, Trump is now the second term, right? Stocks do better early. Okay, so you can see on election year, so this is the new president. New president. So for us, right, we look at the blue color, the second term president. So pre-election year, okay, this is how the S&P performed, 12%. Okay, and you can see, right, post-elections is that basically Trump elected in 2024, right? So post-election, that means right 2025 right now second term Now next year, which is midterm year, 8% up. Okay, so this is the performance that we are seeing right now based on history. Okay, on average, it's a 4% gain. So you guys can see this is since 1950s. So it's like 74 years of data, and the data doesn't lie. As you can see over here as well. Okay, so you can see, right, based on just these two data alone, we can see, okay, probably the S&P, right, more than 1 year later, we will probably see a higher high. Okay, and there's a reason for that. I'll share with you guys later, so stay tuned. Okay, And another one is the shutdown. Okay, this is another data point. The shutdown. Okay, for those of you, how many of you are aware that there was a government shutdown recently? So if you're aware, just type A in the chat. Okay, A stands for aware. So what is a government shutdown? Is basically when both the Democrat and Republicans. So think of it in Singapore context, right? We don't have it lah, but in Singapore context, it's like PAP and Worker Party, they cannot agree on something, right? They clash, right? And then they say, let's shut down the government, let's revote again. So this shutdown happened recently, and it was the longest one. Unexpected. First time in history, guys. It was for 43 days. Okay. I didn't even expect this to last 43 days. In fact, I think most of everyone expected it to be last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but this lasted 43 days, the longest. And that's why towards the end of the shutdown, after the 35th day, right, which is way longer than before, right, you started to see people getting panicky already. Because when shutdown happens, government employee cannot work one. I have a friend in the military, guys. He works with the US military as well. He's in the army. So he works a lot with the US military to coordinate some stuff. So when the shutdown initially happened, right? So asking me, hey bro, then how you all still got active communication? Because defense force, right? Good time, bad time, you have to protect the nation. So he tell me, say, wow, bro, before the shutdown, you reply them in the morning. You reply them in Singapore morning. Sometimes on the same morning, they will reply because it's USA at night. Now he tell me, when he texts them in the morning, next day morning, also no reply one. That kind of stuff. So it's not only the defense force, it's a lot of government bodies are shut down. And in fact, right, guys, even the Bureau of Labor Statistics that releases all the unemployment data, that releases all the CPI data, they were also shut down. So there were 2 months of no news coming out from the labor statistics, and the Federal Reserve was just like flying blind. Okay, but with that being said, right, what are we looking at here? So you can see that based on all the past shutdowns, right? Okay, how did the S&P perform during the period of the shutdown? Okay, now this is not as important. I want you guys to focus on this column over here. S&P 500 12 months after it ends, after the shutdown ends. Okay, out of so many occurrences, right, only 3 of them were negative. Okay, and the negative was 7%. Okay, only 3. The rest of them, how many are there? I think it's more than, okay, let's say 15, roughly 15, right? 3 out of 15 are negative. The rest of the 12 return positive. So based on stats, how are we seeing this? Thinking about the AI revolution and all? I don't know. But I'm putting my bets that irregardless of who is the president, the Senate, and the House, they will probably see higher things more than 12 months later. Okay? Now, so we are all looking at long term, because the short term, no one knows what is going to happen. So we must look at the long term, and that is why for our investments, we also want to play the game where we can win by looking at these data points. Okay? All of you understand so far or not? All of you can understand clear with what I say so far? If you can understand, please type you in the chat for understand. Okay? If you understand, please type you in the chat. Okay? Kelvin says, saw before, that's why always optimistic. Very good. There's an internal civil. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening within the US. Definitely a lot more exciting than Singapore. Okay, so now let's move on again. Okay, so stats by stat. I'm showing you guys 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so first one we saw was the midterm election. Second one we saw was the shutdown. Now, another stat I want to show you guys is related to what Kelvin said earlier, which is the VIX, the VIX. Okay, now, for those of you who don't know what is VIX, by the way, I did share a little bit of this inside our next level Telegram earlier, the options Telegram. So if you are not inside the Telegram chat, okay, please make sure to join as well. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send the Telegram link on the chat. So if you're not inside, please join the Telegram. This is where any quick updates will like bullet like a machine gun, okay, show you all the new updates so you're updated real time of what is happening. Not inside, please join. Okay, I'm pretty sure all of you will benefit a lot from this and be kept up to date. Now, so this VIX, right, okay, is basically a measure of market volatility. Okay, so if the market is more volatile, the VIX will be very high. If the market is not so volatile, the VIX will be very, very low. Okay, simple as that lah. Okay, so higher reading, okay, when it's more volatile, right, that means there is more uncertainty. Okay, because the market don't know what is going on. So higher VIX basically means higher uncertainty. So I put here up UT. Okay. Lower VIX, that means lower uncertainty. Okay, very simple over there. Okay, so higher uncertainty, higher fear. Okay. Now, you can see a lot of numbers here. These are basically the range of the VIX. Okay. Now, you can see that over here, you all don't need to look at these blue bars. Just focus on the green one. Okay. When the VIX range between 28.7 to 33, okay, on the following year, right, the market returned an average of 15%. Okay, so this is how to read it. So if the VIX is, let's say, around like 16 to 16 is also about 15%, but this is where we are right now. The VIX is around 28 to 33 now. Okay, if you go in Google, volatility index is about 28 to 33 now. Now, historically, right, when we've seen this level of volatility, the following year, the S&P gave us 15% returns. And ironically, if it's more than 33.5, the S&P gave us 25% return the following year. Now, some of you might be questioning this. Hey, Bjorn, but then more volatility means more uncertain what? How come the next year the price higher? Now, exactly. This is the irony that I can tell you that no one will tell you. You go to many media outlets, you go and read the news, no one will tell you this one, guys. When market is very uncertain, okay, a lot of fear in the market, who are the ones that are scared the most? The ones that don't have a lot of information. Who are the ones that don't have a lot of information? Retail investors. Me and you. Okay? Now, for those of us that we sell, right? We are the ones who sells. Now, who are the ones that are buying? Okay, the ones that are buying are the institutions. The ones that are actually pushing up the price at the end of the day. They are the ones buying because when everyone is selling and dumping it, they are the ones that want to buy at low. They need a lot of people to sell, then they can buy. Okay, now I see some comments. Leon, yes, VIX change for time to time. So this data, right, what we saw, right, is like, okay, at that time, 12 months later, right, how was the VIX like? Okay, from that day in time. So yes, it changes from day to day. And like Kelvin said, now is 23. Okay, so based on last Friday close, right, it was at 28 to 23. Today, why you see drop, right? It's because today is green. If you now the futures are a bit green already. Okay, that's why when there is less uncertainty, well, basically market rate, the VIX will be quite high. When markets is green, like nothing, just trade along, VIX will not probably be very, very high. Okay, but the core idea of what I want you to see is, right, is that volatility index, it doesn't mean that high means you should be scared and sell everything. In fact, high, right, might actually mean the opposite. Okay, now this is the next data. This is the fix. So you see, guys, today I already shared 3 data points with you. And I'm not done yet. Okay, so every single thing that I share with you, right, is actual data points, right, for you to understand and know that, to discern yourself, is it market noise or is it actually facts that that has been proven in history? Okay, now let me move on to the next one, and this is going to be very interesting. This is the S&P share price. Okay, this is since 1 year ago, about March 2024. This black line you see over here is the 100 moving average line. Okay, this is the 100 moving average line. Now, what do you all notice? See all the green circle. Each time the S&P 500 touched the 100 moving averages, this one is like an anomaly, a sudden tank because of the yen carry trade in 2024. Okay, it was very sudden. So sudden movements we don't really account for. And now this one again, when you touch the 100 moving average, touch, and now we touch again. Now, let me ask all of you guys. Each time it touches the 100 moving average, right? In the next, let's just say 6 months, okay, the next 6 months to 1 year, right? What do you see based on this chart? Do we bounce up or do we go down? Each time we touch the 100% moving average, do we bounce up or down? Up, just type up. Down, just type down. Okay, what do you see over here? Type in the chat. Let me know what you see. Each time the S&P touches the 100% moving average, do we go up or do we go down? Okay, we go up based on history. Okay, now does it mean that we will not go down? There is a chance, right? Because of anomaly. Like in this case, this whole chunk was when Trump suddenly announced his tariffs. Okay, This was a carry trade like I shared earlier. But for normal sake, when there is like just normal market corrections, simple retracements, each time we touch the 100 MA, we go up. Okay, and even if you account for the anomaly, the only thing the anomaly shows you, okay, the only thing the anomaly gives you an answer is that it's opportunity. Simple as that, because you get to buy at a much cheaper price. And even let's say you buy at an all-time high back at this point, you are still higher than before. Okay, this is the actual index that we are talking about. So you can see, right? These are the data points that we are looking at. Okay, and this is also something interesting, which is cash level. Okay, this is not cash level of me and you. This is the cash level of institutional investors, fund managers lah. Okay, all the institutional investors managing all the hedge funds their cash level So you can see, right? This chart all these circled one, right, is that at each point in time, right, how much were their cash levels over here? Okay, so you can see May they hold cash. So think of it this way, when they are holding a lot of cash, means what? Means they are afraid lah, right? That means like, maybe the market is overvalued, or there's something happening, or whatever it is. That's why they hold a lot of cash. Because fund managers, right, they are not long-term investor. They are very short-term investor. They trade in and out of the market, right? They have to go and protect all their clients' interests. So you can see, these are all periods when their cash were very, very high. And of course, right, the whole market moves from institutional investors. What we want to see as investors, right, we want to see the cash level drop. Because when the cash level drop, what does it mean? It means that they are deploying the cash in the stock market. They are buying it. And when these kind of fund managers deploy cash, let me tell you guys, this is in the millions and billions of dollars. It will push the price up. Okay, the market is being moved by whales. So you can see, 1.6 after it went up, it went down. Then April 2020, after COVID, you can see, right? Literally, the crash, they were holding so much cash. Then after later, everyone deployed, went all the way down. And then, towards October 2022, where the bear market happened, right? They went full cash. And then after later, the cash level started to drop. Now, this was in April, the latest one. You can see cash level was high. Where are we now? We are at 3.7%. What does it mean? That means simply they are deploying cash. Okay? The cash has dropped to the average level. The average is about 4%, around there, around 5 to 4%. 5%, yeah, 5% is the average. Okay, it is at 3.7% now. Okay, that means they are deploying cash. Okay, now does it mean that after this, that means the cash will continue to go down? No, might not be, because you can see this is also a level. This is also a level over here. Okay, so it might jolly well see above, it might jolly well see down, we don't know. But as we know right now, right, these fund managers, they are deploying cash. And when they deploy cash, guys, it's something. Okay, it does not mean that they are deploying cash for nothing. They're deploying cash because they see opportunity. Can all of you type O in the chat for opportunity? Okay, Kelvin, very good question. How to extract this data? I got it from Twitter. Okay, I read a lot on Twitter. I follow a few people. I love reading. I love to scroll the news. And these are all the news. There's a lot of, and by the way, on Twitter and everything they read online, there's a lot of noise. Everyone is saying all kinds of stuff. If you're not careful, you're going to get lost. Okay, you're going to get shaken out by the market. You're going to be emotionally affected and all. So I've really sifted out everything on X, and these are all the information, all the good ones, right, that I share with you, so all of you can learn from this. Okay, so you can see, extremely bullish on stock. Okay, now, so you can see, these are all the data that we've seen from the start until now. Okay, we saw people talking about the market crashing, AI bubble, whatever it is, and all of you have seen how many data points have you seen today? So do until I don't even know how much data point that I shared. Okay, look, we have the first data point. Okay, the midterm election data point. Okay, this is the same. You have the shutdown data point that I showed you. You have the third VIX data point that I showed you. You have the fourth S&P moving average data point. And you have the fifth cash level data point. Guys, one live session today, right? All of you get 5 data points to see the market from different lens. How many of you think this is damn helpful one to you? If you think this is very helpful to you, type H in the chat. Okay? So all of you type, then next time I'll do more of this if you all enjoy this kind of thing. Okay, let me know. Do you find this helpful or not? You find this helpful, type H in the chat. Okay, because these are the kind of things that is not for fun one. No, this is no real data. It's not like someone predict in the future and say that, hey guys, sell all your stocks. Hey guys, look, I predicted the stock market will drop. No, this is not that kind of stuff one. Those kind of people that share with you that kind of things they are bullshitting you they are just sharing with you some fallacy When they predict correctly in like 1 out of 100 times, they'll come and tell you, hey guys, look, see, I predicted this. That's the one time they will post online they will share with you that they predicted this. The 99 times that they never predict right, they'll keep quiet. They will not say anything. They will just pretend nothing happened. Life goes on, and they just pretend like they predicted something and then succeed and say, hey, look guys, I predicted this. This is the state of the market since I started investing, even since I before started investing. Because 人就是犯贱, okay? That means I don't know what exactly English is but basically for humans we are shrewd one, okay? Everyone only wants to paint a very nice picture. You go on social media, not just in stock market. You go and scroll Instagram. What do people share usually? People share the good stuff, right? Example, people go holiday. Example, they share all the holiday picture. Wow, look, I travel here, I travel there. They share so many things, okay? But when something bad happens, very sad things or what, no one will share it, right? It's just humans, right? You want to share the good stuff, you want to share with the world, okay? So that's the same thing for the stock market, right? That's why you have to be very, very careful. That's why this kind of live session is very useful, not just for you, for all your friends. Get them to come and join, because this is where we really sift out all the rubbish and only share with you the ones that makes a lot of sense. Okay, now, after I share with you these, there's also important things that I want to share with you. And this is very, very important, guys. Super important. Can all of you type I in the chat for important? And I want all of you to pay extra attention to this. Even more attention than the first half of what I shared with you. Because I can tell you, right, if the first half can give you that initial confidence that, okay, we will be fine in the next 1 year, right? If the first half is that, this next first half will make you feel even more compelled that, okay, we should take action. I am really okay. And it will tell you the idea of what action you should take next. Okay, wonderful. Now, remember that I shared with you, right, that the market now, this is based on last week, that we've seen on Thursday, after NVIDIA drop, okay, since the top to bottom in the recent crash, we've seen it drop 5.6%, okay? But guys, this is not the first time that we have seen this, okay? April dropped 19%. Okay, and this one was back in, I think, sometime in November, December last year, 5% drop. And in fact, we've seen way worse than what we've seen before. 9.5% drop, 6% drop, 10% drop. We've seen all of these before. This is just in the past 5 years. Okay, 3 to 4 years. Okay, all of these drops have happened before, right? But what do we see in the media now? They are painting this 5% drop like it's the end of the world. Everyone is saying that, oh, this is the end of the world. Sell all your stocks. I even saw on TikTok people are saying the S&P is going to crash. Sell all your stocks. That's the worst kind of advice that someone can give to anyone. And I think those people are very bad people. Really bad people. How can you tell people to sell their stocks and for your own personal gain? I think this is this is not the right thing to do as a human. If you have any decency as a human, you won't do this kind of thing to people. Okay, now you can see everyone is painting like this is the end of the world, but we've seen way worse than this. And no one is talking about the 6%, the 9%, the 19%. It pretends like none of it has ever happened, and everyone just focuses on now, right? Like it's the end of the world, but what has happened each time all of these drops have happened? It goes up, it goes up, it goes up. Okay, here it goes up a little bit, and then we had a Trump crash, it goes up. Okay, this is historical data. Now, does it mean it will go up from here? Good chance based on history. But does it mean it can continue to go down a bit more? Possible. There's always a possibility. But we are looking at the long-term game. The game that we can win. Okay, type in the chat, win, W-I-N. Type W in the chat for win. Okay, we want to play the game that we can win, right? Okay, so then the people ask, hey, so how did the S&P, why through all of these falls, okay, the S&P can go up? And guys, this is not just the past 3 years. If you look at since 1900, over a century worth of data. A century, guys, worth of data. Even when Singapore haven't independence yet. What do we see the stock market? Uptrend. Irregardless of all kinds of news that we see. Whatever, okay? Iran Revolution, Pearl Harbor, COVID, GFC, swine flu, debt crisis, 9/11. Stocks tend to go higher, even with bad news. Okay? Because when you zoom out, the long-term trend speaks for itself. Okay? So that's why this is very important, because everyone fixates literally in a chart like this. You know what everyone fixates? Okay, let me erase this. See my mouse here on the top right side. They fixate on this one dot. This little red dot over here is what the whole world fixate on. It's ridiculous. Why would you fixate on a single dot in a century worth of data? It's ridiculous, right? Because the media wants attention. Everyone out there wants attention. They're sharing with you things that gives you the most attention at the expense of us faltering our emotions. So guys, no. I want all of you to type no in the chat. That means no falling for the traps that people tell you. No. Okay, type no in the chat. Okay, be firm about it. Type no. Right? Don't fall for these kind of things. Right? No one cares about your money more than you. Okay? There are a lot of people out there who would sell you all kinds of things for their own personal benefit. No. Okay? Some of you might say, hey Bjorn, then you share with us for personal benefit or not? I don't have. All these are all past historical data. I'm not sharing with you history like this. This is all from the market. Actual market data that people have done that I'm sharing with you. Right? I'm not here to say, hey, go, go and buy, hey, do all this kind of, no. All this kind of thing, no. It's all of you to make your own educated decision. Okay? And for me, right, I've been an educator for more than 10 years. I've been teaching secondary school kids, part-time tuition on the side. For 10 years, I think as an educator, it is my duty to educate people the right way and teach them the right way. At the end of the day, when I leave this earth, the question I want to ask myself is, did I lie? Did I cheat? Or did I steal? Or did I make an impact and help at least one people in this world to get a better life? I choose the latter always. Okay, but in this case, I'm talking to 130 of you. So I hope all of you have learned something. So if all of you learned something so far, can all of you type L in the chat this time? L not for lose, L stands for learn. Okay, if you have learned something so far from today's live, please type L in the chat. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Okay, which is this is again the fear and greed index. Okay, and why am I showing this to you again? It's because when it's extreme fear, right, everyone will look like this. Everyone will say this is the end. Okay, everyone will tell you the end. Okay, it's the end. Okay, now let me share with you one more data point. Okay, and this data point will be super interesting also. This data point pairs the fear and greed index with how the market move. Now take a look at this. Okay, the blue wavy lines that you see are the fear and greed index. Okay, again, the blue wavy lines that you see are the fear and greed index. So you can see where is extreme fear? Extreme fear is this line over here. Okay, let me draw. Let me try to draw my line as straight as possible. This line that you see here is the extreme fear. Okay, let me type EF. Okay, this is the extreme fear line. Now, I want you to see when the market has been in extreme fear each time. Okay, now look at the worst one. The first one was over here. Okay, this was back in early January. And then if you pair it with how the S&P, yes, we were low, but then after later we dropped even lower again. Now, but you still at extreme fear. You can see extreme fear. Okay, but even if let's say you invested in these extreme fear times, right? What do we see? You rarely go up and you drop, then you're like, wow, sian, but you hold to your guns and you invest in quality companies. You invest in extreme fear. It went up. Okay, this is July 2023, a little bit, just not as much as now, but you see it dropped, extreme fear, up. Okay, and zooming all the way to the most recent times, this is the latest one, the last that we've seen in April. It dropped as well, extreme fear, and we are up. And now we are at that kind of same level as before over here. And you see the drop, okay? Over here, extreme fear again. Now, what is the probability? Will you go up from here or will it go down? I don't know. No one have any idea. But if what history has told us, what we can draw in summary from this and looking at the long-term record of the S&P, it is that when it is extreme fear, it is not time to sell. No. it is time to buy. Okay, please type in the chat. Okay, I don't want to be here to give financial advice. Okay, but it is not now. If it's the time to sell, right? Now is not the time to sell unless you're holding totally rubbish company. Okay, but now is the time, not really the time to buy, not 100% because your own portfolio is your own decision, but it's the time to look at undervalued opportunities. 80% of investors, right, when it's fear, right, they will avoid looking at their portfolio. When it's good, they will keep looking at the portfolio and they'll keep smiling and smiling, green, 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 green. In fact, what you should be doing is the total opposite. When it's green, don't waste time to look at your portfolio. Nothing will change. When it is red, it is time to take out your portfolio to look at where are the undervalued opportunities to go and see. Okay, this is what you should do. Okay, and again, like I said, it's not all kinds of company, guys. You only want to look at battle-tested companies. Only choose battle-tested companies from your portfolio. Can all of you type BT in the chat for battle-tested? Okay, type BT in the chat for battle-tested. You only want to choose battle-tested companies for your portfolio. Because when the market show, all kinds of company will look like a discount. Even all kinds of random company will look like a discount. But you don't want to invest in every single thing. You only want to choose better tested companies for your portfolio. What do we mean by better tested? That means they have a good 5-year track record of a very strong uptrend and companies that you are very, very confident inside. Okay. Hey guys, by the way, if you have any questions, just type in the chat. Okay. Along the way, I will answer them as we go along. I think we might have some time when after today's class, so I'll answer them. So you have any question, just type. Don't need to wait until the end. Just type and I will answer them as we go along. Okay, only choose better tested portfolio. Okay, and then many of you might be asking, if beyond so many companies out there, wow, how do I pay all these better tested companies portfolio? Okay, now for those of you who are interested, okay, for those of you who are interested, okay, we on occasions, we always hold a 2-hour Buffett Accelerator framework, simply just to show you guys how to identify great businesses, the exact process that we use to identify great businesses. Okay, so this is my partner, Rachel. Okay, so it is the same approach that Warren Buffett used for today's but adapted for today's market. And guys, Warren Buffett, you might think he retired, but guys, this guy is still all in. Okay, this guy is still rock solid in the market. Like he recently, Berkshire also bought Google as well. Okay, so in this session, right, we are going to show you this exact approach inspired his principles, but adapted for today's market. In addition to just showing you companies, right? Okay, it's about showing you how to use options. And Rachel will also share one of the favorite strategies that we use in times like this. In fact, in today's time, right, is one of the best time to use these option strategies. Now, free to join, guys. It's not like I'm here to share. Hey, yeah, come, sign. No, this is free to join, one. Really. No home, man. Even if you something on that last day, right? Okay, it's fine. Okay, you don't have to pay a single cent to join this 2-hour class. But I can tell you that this is probably one of the best time you want to make sure you are well positioned, because this kind of extreme fear, as you can see in history, right? It doesn't happen all the time, guys. Right? Once in a while only, you know. So I personally think I am also doing a lot of action. So for those of you who are keen, right, completely free to join. You can scan the QR code on the screen that you see now. Alternatively, just click the link in the chat box below. Okay, so this is how we do it. Now, the last thing that I want to share is this wonderful quote by Warren Buffett. Okay, the age-old quote until today: "Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful." I can tell you that you go online, see, no one, I don't know why not a lot of people are saying this. In fact, this is the time where this quote is the best. Is one of the best thing to follow. Okay, to really remember. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. So in times now this is the part we are in. Okay, be greedy when others are fearful. Okay, so this is the thing that I want all of you to really follow. Okay, this Warren Buffett is a legend, guys. I know I had the chance to fly all the way to Omaha during, and I just started investing. I wanted to learn from the best, only the best. So I flew in, went to meet him. Right, wonderful. Right, and this is what I want to share. And one more last thing, guys, it's very, very common from everyone, especially even though you say, yeah, Bjorn, I know what to do, and you will hear a lot of people, a lot of geniuses out there, right? They will tell you, say that, they tell you this kind of stuff. I will start investing when stocks are cheaper. I won't invest yet because the market is down. Guys, these kind of people, right? All talk, no action, man. they will say, I will start investing when stocks are cheaper, but they will never invest one. Never one. The whole time they will say when it's cheaper, but they will never buy. I won't invest because the market is down. Also the same kind one, right? These kind of people, right? They will just never will not make it in one, right? So the idea is don't wait for a perfect time to start investing. There is no perfect time. There is no such thing as a perfect time. Don't believe anyone tell you there is a perfect time. There is no such thing. There is only a good time to start. And the best time to start, guys, was yesterday. The next best time to start is today. Simple as that. These are the two best time to start, right? Okay. And you see, you saw the chart earlier. You bought at the previous all-time high. Now you still be making money. Okay. And you might think that, oh, it's very complicated. Trust me, once you go to 2-hour class, right, you realize that actually it's not complicated. It's something that not my background is not financials, guys. I'm an engineer. Okay. I'm an engineer. I only know math, okay, and physics, right? I am able to invest, right? So I believe it works for any one of you, right? We have taught students that are 50, 60 years old, they are thriving right now, their portfolio, 6, 7 figures as well, right? So the key to wealth is not timing the market, but being in the market. Okay, so don't wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time, guys. There's only a good time to invest. Okay, can all of you type good in the chat so I know that all of you are 100% clear on this. Okay, guys, I give you all everything one. I got nothing to hide one. I'm an open book. Okay, y'all got any question, you ask me. Just don't ask me, say, hey, Bjorn, what to buy. I will never answer that question because those kind of questions don't benefit you one. Okay, also put me in trouble. Wow, this kind of thing, we cannot anyhow tell people what to buy. But I can share with you all of these facts, so y'all can make your own decisions and take action. Okay, now, so that's all that I have today. But guys, one more thing, guys, add me on Facebook. Come on. Add me on Facebook, guys. I am a very friendly person. Despite you see me, sometimes the way I talk, like very, very fierce. But it's because I'm passionate. I enjoy sharing and talking to these kind of things. Even though, now I talk to in front of camera, I do enjoy this. Been doing this for more than 10 years as well. Right. So add me on Facebook. I would love to make friends with all of you. Okay. Just feel free. I share updates on Facebook from time to time as well. A lot more of my personal thoughts, how I'm feeling. So not only investment, but also about life and things like that. So I see it as a journal, and I think a lot of the stuff that you will see might resonate with you as well. Okay, so add me on Facebook. I love to really be friends with all of you. Okay, wait, the screen got this. I should off the QR code so you all can hide this. Okay, but just in case you need, just in case, I'm just sending my Facebook link on the chat as well. So add me as friend. Come on, guys. Okay, and I would love to connect with all of you. Okay, now with that being said, we have come to the end of today's live, but I think we have a little bit of time for Q&A. Okay, so can I ask if any one of you have any questions for me? This is your time to ask me right now. Okay, any questions for me or not? Okay, let me spotlight myself right now. Can I spotlight myself or not? Wait. Okay, let me try to change my face. Okay. We are using this thing called Restream lah. Okay. Okay. So I mean, you just click the link. Okay, I'm going to stop share now so you can see my face. Okay, guys, any questions for me or not? Okay, I got another 5 minutes to answer any of your dying questions. If you're not clear about what I shared earlier or anything, feel free to ask in the chat. Okay, for those of you who are wondering how the market will be tonight, I think we will be green today. Okay, we will look green today. So far from the pre-market, what we are seeing is futures going up. One thing that I also wanted to note is, like, I think one of you said earlier about the rate cuts, right? So now, basically, the rate cut probability has increased to close to 60-70%. And when rate cuts, market feel positive about it. Okay, that's why we are seeing the market goes up, at least for today as well. Okay, so Kelvin got time? Of course, let's network when we have time. Okay. Any one of you have any questions for me or not? No questions, guys. This is your only time to ask me. Okay, any questions or not? Kelvin says a bit bullish. I think I would say that in the short to medium term, it pays to be conservative. It always pays to be conservative, right? And it's good to be bullish, but don't be bullish to the extent where you one time you load all your bullets and you just spray everything and you all in, right? It's always very prudent to have a buffer, right, and be conservative. Okay, always manage your cash. And the whole idea is not to prepare for rainy day. The whole idea is actually to manage your emotions. When you have cash to invest, right, you just feel better about everything one. Okay. Okay, user. Okay, user. I don't know why your name is like user 𝗲𝗂𝗂𝗵8WF1U. Okay, SPY looks green. Do you see this as a good bonds at this end of the rate? Wow. I wish I had a direct answer for you. I really wish I had a direct answer for you, but I don't have a direct answer for you. In fact, no one in the world has a direct answer for you. Okay, it might be anything because it all depends on what anyone can say in the past week. Okay, but this is a short week because it's Thanksgiving this Friday. So it's Thanksgiving weekend. This Friday is Black Friday, so it's going to be a slightly shorter week. It might bounce from here, but I don't know about the short term. But I know in the next 1 year, my bet, based on the data we've seen earlier, is that we'll see green at a higher price than we are today. Do I think NVIDIA is undervalued? Okay, I think NVIDIA is a bit overvalued. Okay, that's what I want to say. But NVIDIA, right, is a very, very strong company. And strong companies will always have a premium to them. Okay, NVIDIA is wonderful. I love NVIDIA. I think that something I really love about companies is what we call founder-led companies. NVIDIA has been helmed by Jensen Huang. I suggest all of you to go and Google Jensen Huang interviews. Listen to how he talks. Listen to him as a person. It will give you a lot of motivation as well. Nguyen, do I think there'll be one more rate cut? I do think there will be, and that will be in December. Okay, even based on where the data is looking at, most people are expecting a rate cut to happen as well. Okay, portfolio is red. Not sure when is a good TA for entry. User, you need to join the 2 days class. You need to take a look at that. Okay, portfolio is red is fine one. Everyone now portfolio probably is red. Mine also red. It's red. That means if it's always green. To be honest, guys, if your portfolio is like, if the market is actually keep going green, let me tell you guys from experience, it is actually more scary than it being red for a while. Trust me, right? Being red is very healthy. It is very healthy. Think of it this way. It's like, let me ask all of you a question. When you eat too full, right? When you eat until very, very full, right? Will you force yourself to eat some more? Yes or no? After you have eaten very, very full, will you force yourself to eat more? Yes or no? Type in the chat. Okay? Andy, Thanksgiving on Thursday. Yes, then I think the weekend is holiday. Not very sure. Okay? What do you guys think? When you eat until very full, right? Will you continue to eat some more or not? Okay, type in the chat. Yes or no? Kelvin, any analysis on BABA? I don't have any analysis on BABA right now offhand. Okay, but in general sense, I think China is opening up a lot, and that's always a good sign to see. Okay, no, you want to eat some more, right? Okay, what do we need to do? We need to go to the toilet to let it out. So I see the stock market rally as something like this. When it's very, very green, it's like you're just stuffing yourself with food, and eventually, you have to go to the toilet to let it out. And pullbacks, I mean, for lack of a good analogy, pullbacks are the ones that, that's why sometimes it's thought when you go Hokkien, people will say lao sai. Okay, that's why pullbacks, right, are actually healthy for the market in the long term. In the long term, the keyword is that. Okay, Kiki, will crypto volatility 100%. 100%, especially in recent times where a lot of eyes are, where crypto has actually garnered a lot of eyes already. Okay, 100%. In fact, there is a correlation between Bitcoin and the SPY. Okay, so the whole idea is that when the way crypto move is a precursor to how the stock market will move. Because for crypto, they trade in the weekends and they trade 24/7 one. So on weekends when the stock market is not open, right? Or even in today, like Monday morning when the stock market is not open, you see how crypto price move. There is some correlation one. Might not always be 100%, right? Like last Friday, crypto dropped, but the stock market went up. So there is not 100%, but there is some relation to it. Why? Because Bitcoin is a risk-on asset. Okay, risk-on. That means when people are willing to take risk, right, people invest in Bitcoin. The stock market is also risk-on assets. That's why. Okay. Do I teach 𝗲𝗂𝗂𝗵? With this market condition, can you use 𝗲𝗂𝗂𝗵? 𝗲𝗂𝗂𝗵 is something that we teach. Okay, but it's a bit more advanced. The 2 days class, we do briefly touch the two hours class very briefly only. But it's a lot more focused on quality companies. Because, guys, something that I want to share with all of you is that a lot of people misunderstand that the strategy is the number one thing to learn when we invest. That is the last thing that you want to learn, to be honest. The first thing you want to learn is how to analyze, how to identify companies. The strategy is literally the last thing. Like, there are 4 steps. We call it fundamentals, valuations, technical analysis, and the last one is a strategy. Okay, this is the 4 step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Most people start with strategy. I have no idea why. Right? Why you start with strategy? Because the strategy is the most shiny things. No, you start with the fundamentals. The strategy depends on the fundamentals, depends on the valuation, depends on the TA. Right? Okay, so please remember that. Okay. But I see there's no other questions over here already. So with that, I just want to thank all of you guys for spending your evening with me. It's been my pleasure and joy to spend the evening with you. Once again, guys, add me on Facebook. Okay, add me on Facebook, and I'll also send the link for the 2 days class once again, as you guys can see right over here. Okay, so I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Don't spend so much for Black Friday. Okay. And yeah, enjoy your day. And I'll see you again in the next live. Okay. Bye bye.